Our Xbox controller is just destined to just break because okay, so this is the Armed Forces controller. This is the one that I bought outside of my Xbox One, cost $60. This is the controller that came with the Xbox One. Obviously, it would cost $60 if you actually ended up buying one, buying, the official Xbox One controller, not a third party. And this is the Armed Forces. So if you bought this alone, it would cost $60. If you bought this alone, $60. Don't know how much it goes for now. It probably goes for less because the Xbox One Elite controller's out and it has like those things in the back, and you can customize and change the button layouts on the controller itself without actually having to go in game and do it. But really, it's not about those. It's not about the Elite controller. I'm talking about this because, yep, this thing right here, this thumbstick is busted. This controller has not been used at all. Okay, hasn't been thrown around, hasn't been thrown under the desk, hasn't been thrown anywhere. It's been sitting around, just essentially collecting dust because we don't play too much couch co-op anymore, only because most games now on the Xbox One and PS4 figure that's a good idea to just throw out that option and just go strictly multiplayer online, which I totally disagree with. But this thing has essentially busted. It does. This thumbstick doesn't work. Whenever I go to play Halo, I always look up. Because this thumbstick is damaged for some reason, I will always look up. The character always goes ahead and just looks up in the sky like a moron. And this thing right here is the reason. All the buttons on here work fine. For some reason, it sounds like it doesn't sound like there's anything wrong with it. It functions properly. There's no grinding happening. It sounds fine, but for some reason, it always looks up. It always causes my character in every game I play, with the exception of fighting games, to look up. So that's the problem with that one. Problem with this one. Buttons up front, buttons in back work fine. Buttons in, every button on this one works fine except for this. But this button right here worked fine last night. Now all of a sudden, it just doesn't want to work anymore. It's now it's not clicking anymore. Hear the difference? Hear the difference? Something is missing here. Something broke. Something something just went out of place in this one. I'm not sure, but this button doesn't work anymore. You play Halo with it. You can't boost. You can't melee. You can't boost charge. You can't do anything with it. If you play any games that require the use of this button in the default layout, at least, you're not going to be able to use it. It's broken. Okay, and I have this problem with Xbox controllers. Okay, not to mention the fact that they still use freaking batteries. They never last long enough. They never do. They always, in some weird fashion or some weird way, just break. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they always break. Thumbstick just died on this one. Button here is just garbage. This thing, I will say though, these things have lasted longer than the Xbox 360 controllers. They have lasted far longer, but they still broke. This thing worked fine last night, playing Dying Light, jumping around with this button. Well, guess what? Can't play Dying Light now. Freaking button's not working. Oh, well, I want to play a first-person shooter, or pretty much any game. Any game. Yeah, that thumbstick, big problem. I play Gears of War with this thing. I can't play it. Yeah, I am always looking up because of this thing. And keep in mind, this and that have not been thrown around. Haven't been thrown around. They actually look like they're in good condition. I have not thrown these things around. Have not thrown them. To be honest with you, I play Halo, but the thing is, though, I don't rage at the freaking game like I'm some moron. But I don't rage. I don't throw the controllers. They're fine. Have not done anything to them. Have changed out the batteries. Batteries are new in both. They function properly. Well, with the exception to the button here and this thing here. I've just never had any luck with these things. They always break. They always they just never last long enough. The Xbox One controller, the Xbox 360 controllers, the third parties were always garbage to me. I never liked buying third party controllers. They always fell apart. The buttons would always, I remember Mad Catz on the original Xbox. The X button was just jacked up. And then here we got this and this. And the reason why I went silent there for a second is because I heard something outside. It's nothing. I don't know what to do about this. I really don't. This controller worked last night. Now it doesn't. This one, well, like I said, I have not done anything to this one. And it, for some reason, the thumbstick's busted. Yeah. $60 for both. I don't know how much they go for now as the Elite controller's out. But $60 for both on their own, not with the console. And this came with the console. This one didn't. I paid $60 for this thing. And thumbstick's gone. Bumper's dead. So, yeah.